And welcome to the 14th episode of the Fleet Nation podcast, where we have none other than Klassik CEO, who is the founder and creator of the Fleet DJs. But first, you guys know that I am the host of the Fleet Nation podcast. It's just Miss Wells, and you guys can follow me on Instagram at It's Just Miss Wells. Make sure that you're following the show at the Fleet Nation podcast. And Klassik, introduce yourself to these individuals.
What's going on? I'm Klassik, the CEO of the Fleet DJs from North New Jersey. What's up?
Hey, Klassik.
What's going
Welcome
on?
to the show. It
I'm
is
here.
such an honor to be able to have you on this platform because I have been a part of the Fleet DJs for a very long time. I have seen all of the work that you've been doing on a consistent basis. And I've always asked myself, like, who the hell is this dude that has all these connections that's making all this stuff happen? So I'm super excited about having you on the platform this evening.
I'm here. You know,
All right.
let's,
So we're
let's
gonna
get it.
jump into it. I'm gonna take you down the journey that I take all the other guests. So
Um,
we're gonna we're gonna kick it off, and I want you to tell the people, like, when was it that you fell in love with the music and really just took a liking to what the music industry had to offer?
well, my family has been in the music business for a long time. My father was a manager, and he was also one of the head guys in the Zulu Nation. Um, my brother, he had a record deal back in the day with Internet. He was also a DJ. That's how I started DJing from him or
Okay.
whatever. And he also had like rap groups too, and he was a producer. I have a lot of family members, celebrities in my family as well that, a legendary status or whatever that's in my family and stuff like that. But my father and my brother is what really got me into, the whole music thing because they was in my household. So I
Mm-hmm.
kind of followed in my brother's footsteps and continued on to doing, music and, trying to take it to another level.
So we got to talk about your dad being a part of the. You said Zulu Nation, right?
Hmm.
What was that like growing up with a father as in a part of an organization so impactful like the Zulu Nation?
Well, I used to go to everything. They had the rock steady events in New York and stuff like that. I used to go to everything. We used to go to like a lot of the Zulu Nation anniversaries and the events and different things. My father had a New Jersey chapter or whatever, so from time to time my chapter would go to the Bronx River, and Bronx projects and go to New York period and just do different things and stuff and just mingle with the lot of the different chapters that's out of New York and stuff like that. So I got to see a lot of celebrities from Wesley Snipes to a whole bunch of different people, Fat Joe to Big L, rest in peace. The list goes on to all the people that were Zulu at that time or whatever. So I got to put my hands on a lot of people, but at that time I wasn't doing music. I was just a fan.
So, what for the people that don't know what the nation is, explain to them in short form what that organization was about, so it'll bring it full circle for them.
Well, the Zulu Nation, they did a lot of positive things for the communities and stuff. They also had like they was like real heavy into the music scene. So every rapper that you probably knew at that time was a part of that organization. They just did a lot of different things inside the music business and educated you on a lot of stuff and brought you to the light of the music business and got you around people. And it's a lot. I could be talking all day about that. Like the
so,
organization is worldwide.
So, in a way, do you think, and we're going to touch here, but then we're going to go back, but in a way, do you think that your affiliation and your exposure to that organization help you shape what the Fleet DJs are today?
Not really, because at that time I was doing music, but I wasn't really doing it. And Fleet
Gotcha.
wasn't even thought about. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't even like a thing that I was thinking about at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like I was doing at that time I was doing like mixtapes on cassettes. And my at that time, me and one of my best friends, we had a thing called Soul Originals, and that was the group of us doing mixes. I had made like my little paper flyers and different things like that. So at that time, that's what I was doing. And I wasn't even at that time. I wasn't even DJing. I was just like putting songs on a cassette or whatever. And then the people that was around me was like purchasing it for like $2 or $3 and stuff.
So
It
you
was
telling on yourself when you
oh
said
yeah,
you made the mixtape on the cassette. So
yes.
we got to
Yeah.
talk about the industry then when you first got into it and you really started playing around with the different avenues that's available. How was
Um,
it?
when I first started like knowing what the industry was, um, Fleet was thought about at that time. We had a thing called the Worldwide Alpha Communications Network, which that was how Fleet started from a podcast. I was doing podcasts back in 2001 or whatever,
What?
and it was on a thing called Podomatic or
Okay.
whatever. And at that time, I was like really doing mixtapes. Then now I'm DJing. I'm really DJing,
Okay.
and I'm putting together mixtapes and just learning and just getting around in Newark and going to all the people that was famous in Newark from the outsiders, because all these people had like record deals at the time. Young
Mm.
Z and people like that, the Lords of the Underground and um shit, Queen Latifah. It was a list goes on. We used to just like go to various studios and stuff because I was a producer at the same time. So I used to get me and my partner at the time, Pro Fluent. We used to go around to all these people, the outhouse, try to sell beats and Booger Basements, which is Wyclef Studio. That was in like East Orange. We used to like go there and different places because it was like at that time a lot of those Jersey people were like top notch famous or whatever. And we used to, we trying to get our feet wet, trying to get our beats to all these people and stuff. So I started getting around and started seeing stuff. And around that time too, because my father was working at Allen Def Jam, which was the R&B division
Mm.
of Def Jam. So I
Okay.
started working there too. So we started doing like different events and started going out. That's when I started really going to New York and started going to these industry parties and seeing what these people were doing and meeting these people and stuff like that.
So what came first, the producer or the DJ
The DJ.
part? The DJ part for you.
Because
Okay.
I started DJing at maybe around 8 years old. My brother started teaching me because I used to see him do it. So I was like, oh, he used to have, I'd be on one side of the house in the basement and he'd be on the other, but I had like my video game and stuff on this side and he'd be on the other end of the basement with his friends and they'd be putting together songs and, different stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So it truly has been a family journey
Oh,
that
yeah.
has taken you through where you are today. So when you got into producing, talk a little bit about how you use being a DJ or being influenced by that to know how to create the sound for artists to get on to.
Well, when I started producing, I was, of course, learning and stuff. So my first piece of equipment was a S20, which like a little
Mm.
sample box or whatever. I didn't even own that. My partner Pro Fluent did. Then I turned around and got me a MPC 2000 XL. That's when I really started like really getting into it because now I didn't spent that at that time. I think that thing was like $2,500. I didn't spend a boatload of money on this one piece of equipment or whatever. So I'm like, I got to start, making beats. So I started making beats to the clip of 8, 9, 10 a day, turn around, go to work, come back 8, 9, 10 a day, and doing the same thing over and over again. So then at that time, I had started dealing with artists of my own
Okay.
called the Compass Fleet, which it was like maybe 10, 11 people. All these people used to be at my house every day, nonstop. So I'm recording songs, making beats, recording songs, that's what I did the whole time. Never did anything else.
So that speaks volumes about your work ethic even today because you are up at the crack of dawn and it seems like if you come late at night, you are still available or we can see that you're doing something or working in some capacity. So that kind of
So I used to
brings
go to
that.
work. I used to
You
go
say
to
what?
work. I used to go to work and still be working on music stuff. Like You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I think that's something that we need to talk about because a lot of the times when people come into this industry, they feel like it's either or, and they don't understand that you can work and work on
hmm
your craft until you get your business and your brand into a space where it can fund the whole dream. But talk
hmm
just a little bit about why you were someone that kept the job as well as worked on your craft at the same time.
well, you need a job, you need money, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't able to, buy equipment and stuff like that if I didn't have a job. So you needed the paper to be able to move around and stuff like that. So a job was very important to be able to, just to have. Then you got a girl or whatever, you got to do things. You need a job. So having a job was key to, being, moving on and stuff. But you can juggle both, you know what I'm saying? So I was doing it or whatever. At the time, I was a diesel mechanic for
Oh,
Penske or
well,
whatever.
damn.
So I
Okay.
was working on trucks at the same time. Then when I turn around, I'm on a damn my phone or sidekick, whatever I had at the time. I'm working around and I'm on Penske's computer on the internet doing stuff. Like it was ways for me to juggle and figure out things because at the time I was really heavy in doing mixtapes. I started
Okay.
doing mixtapes for a lot of celebrities. So, but my thing was I wanted to know where every DJ's mixtapes was because at the time mixtapes was super huge. So I
Mm,
started doing research and compiling up an email list every day, every Friday. I would get on the computer and compile and look around. No, I had no bosses at the job, nothing, because I at that time I think I was working third shift. So
okay.
I'm over here and I'm on a computer and I'm just researching. By the end of that year, I compiled a 50,000 email list. Plus, I had every website mixtapes that DJs had their mixtapes on. So I was able to provide and put my stuff there.
So you had a strategy. You
Mm-hmm.
wasn't just out here like, let me spam people.
No.
Let me just try to, I got this mixtape. Do you want to support? Do you want to buy it? You came back, you sat down and you thought about how can I make this make sense? And then you formulated the plan after that. And
Mm-hmm.
that's executed it,
And
basically.
I was pressing CDs at the time because my father had I think it was a 5 tray duplicator. And the funny thing is, I still have that duplicator.
What?
Yeah, I still have it. It ain't been used in forever, but I still got it. And I used to duplicate my CDs and stuff, put them out on the streets and stuff. But and I started doing a lot of internet work or whatever
Okay.
too at the same time.
So talk about some of the obstacles that you faced on your way to creating the Fleet DJs. We've got a sense of who influenced you, some of the things that you done up into that, but most of the time when something great is built, something triggered that reaction to build the Fleet DJs. So kind of what was that moment where you were like, I'm about to put this DJ crew together?
Well, there really wasn't no moment to say putting together the crew,
Okay.
but I could tell you one story about when I was a producer. Well, I'm still am a producer, but being a producer, I my group at the time, Alexa, stop. At the time, we had a production company called the Alpha Beats,
Okay.
and we had a meeting at um at Eric Nix at the time with Eric Nix at the time. He was like the top A&R at Def Jam at that time,
Okay.
and we went into a meeting with him, and this was around the time the first Violator album was out. And he was like, he sat in there, he listened to all the beats, and he was like, I want these. He had picked like five. And I didn't come back. But I'm gonna tell
Okay.
you why I didn't come back. Because I was trying to do everything on my own without asking questions and different things like that.
Okay.
So I didn't come back because I didn't know what to do.
Okay.
So
Okay.
my, my journey would have been a totally different situation if I'd have came back, because I'd have been on that first Violator album. Fleet DJs wouldn't have been here.
How does that make you feel? Because it's a blessing, but it's still like that moment. I think Dwayne The Rock at the conference this year kind of spoke about a similar situation where something just didn't work in that moment, but it led to something so much better. So how do you look at that now?
Well, it is a failure, but at the same time, I look at it like with Fleet, I can get to anybody I want, so it's the same. You know what I'm saying? Like I can go directly to people and submit my production, which I'm working on a single right now. I ain't gonna say who on it, but I'm working on a single right now, and it's sometimes it was that maybe that was a blessing for it not to happen because Fleet wouldn't have been here. At certain points as a producer, just say if I would have been just say a top-notch producer, everybody knew me, blah blah blah. Producers have their time. After their time, they're done. You know what I'm saying? They fade to the back. Somebody else comes up. I would have had my time if that was the case. If just say if I got big time, I'd have had my time and then it'd have been gone. So I probably would have made a lot of money, different type of money. Not that was if I was to blow up as a producer.
Yeah.
Probably would have made a little money, did a bunch of stuff for a lot of people, but then faded away because this was 2000s. So,
and you think about the artists from 2000 and you don't have you have some of them that are coming back now in different capacities, but the true tastemakers at that time that were running the industry, you don't hear a lot about them. Yeah. So I think that is a very valid point in saying if it didn't come around then, maybe it was because the longevity was supposed to be there, not just that being a part of the journey for you to move into something different.
Oh, yeah. Because Fleet, I'm going to tell you how Fleet started. It was, like I said, I had the whole Compass Fleet thing, which was, I had a couple of them on a documentary. That's how Fleet started. We took the name from Compass Fleet, took the Fleet part off of it, and that's how we got Fleet. Like I said, at the time I was doing a podcast called doing a podcast called the Worldwide Alpha Communications Network. So on that network, I had about 3 DJs sending me mixes at the time. It was DJ Shoreshot from Massachusetts, DJ Dells from New York, and DJ Dub at the time, who was on XM Radio or whatever. So they was already giving me mixes, and I was just putting them on the podcast little network that we had. So out of nowhere, and I can't even recall a day of it actually started, but me and Pro Fluent, who actually we the one started the Fleet DJs, because he was living with me or whatever, and it just started. It was just like, all right, we came up with this crew. This is what we're gonna do. The logo was cheesy as I don't know what. Or whatever, but it was at the time and it was good. It was what it was and stuff. So we built upon that and started adding more people.
Okay. So what is it about the DJ that makes, let me see if I can ask, what is it about the DJ that really caught your passion point where you wanted to build a crew of them to accomplish what we're doing today, essentially?
Well, back then, it definitely was a different situation. The art of it was different, and that's what I love. I used to do all the little tricks and different things like that. My brother was a turntablist. He used to like spin behind his back. I couldn't do none of that, but he used to put his foot on the turntable, and and he could really DJ and stuff. So it was like a fun thing to do. And I used to have like little battles and stuff with the people that was at my crib and stuff like that knew how to DJ and stuff. But it was like a fun thing to do. So when we was already doing the network, we already got people up there. We like, yo, let's see where this thing could go. Who knows, it would blow up, but it was just something to do at the time, and we just kept doing it.
So, if someone were to come up to you today and say, "What is the Fleet DJs?" How do you describe it to other people as the CEO?
Well, Fleet DJs back then was just DJs. It was just a DJ coalition. More
Mm-hmm.
Fleet DJs now is more of an entertainment company
Ooh.
because, and I say that is because we have DJs, we have models, we have photographers, we have producers, we have hosts, we have everything you can need as far as the entertainment business. We do have a record label called Fleet Entertainment or whatever that's distributed by Sony. We have Fleet TV. We got the radio stations and stuff like Fleet Radio Network, and the list goes on. Like it's more of an entertainment company more than just a DJ coalition. People know us as that, but I don't even look at it as that no more because we expanded to other things to make it broader for more people to be a part.
So, in that, like, when did you get the feeling like this is going to be so much bigger than where I am locally, and this thing is going to go worldwide because we're international at this point?
Um, Back then when it started growing, we started doing mixtapes for a lot of artists, a lot of celebrities. I started doing a lot of people's personal mixtapes. Warren G, I did his only mixtape.
What?
Travis Porter, um, Gun, Gutter Gutter. The list go. It's a lot. Like problems. The list is very very large for all the people that we was doing mixtapes for and stuff. So once I seen I was able to start doing these stuff for these celebrities and they were hitting me up and I'm getting cool with them and stuff. So now I'm like, yo, this is people are starting to know the name and it's doing something. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I really started taking it seriously because it was point in time I didn't even know the business. I was just doing it, because it was fun.
I would never think that. As fluent as you are on the business side of this industry, like that does surprise me just a little bit. But it's good to know that this was a passion for you. This wasn't a business when you came into it. It was you doing something that you love. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think that is why still to this day you are as equally invested in seeing us continue to grow and expand in the way that we are?
Yeah, when you start something, you never know how it's gonna grow. You just doing it. But if it does take off, now you invested into it because now it's a serious thing. So now it's it has to continue. Like I said on the documentary, I said when Fleet started, there was a lot of DJ crews out. As time went on, a lot of those DJ crews faded away. Guess what? A lot of those DJ crews faded away. Fleet DJs is still here and only getting stronger. Like we went from 200 members just saying to now we have six something. So worldwide, and we also had international DJs back then and stuff. But
Right.
it's to the point where we still growing and sky's the limit. There's so much stuff that art is coming out. Like right now, I can put out a little tidbit. We are doing something with K-pop, and we are expanding a division to having K-pop, and a
I love
K-pop
it.
radio station is coming
I
very soon.
absolutely love it. I think people are sleeping on K-pop and they need to wake up. It has a lot of similarities to what R&B used to feel like.
Mhm.
It has that same sound. It just doesn't have that same look.
Mhm.
And what we have done is gotten away from that R&B sound and providing people that type of feel good or easy to listen to type music that you can turn on a K-pop song, and if you're not watching the video of it, you would never guess who it is that's up there on the stage or on the song performing it. So I
Mhm.
like where you're going with that.
Yeah, it's only sky's the limit at this point.
Yeah.
You keep expanding and you keep figuring out stuff just to keep you going or whatever. So
So true. So, talk about how it's been managing such a large organization. How do you handle all of that?
well, now we have before it was about, just say 200 members. I was the managers of each state. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying?
yeah.
But now there's state managers, there regionals, and you have people in place to help you organize, the situation, because as it grow to the point, you ain't gonna be able to do everything by yourself. So you need a team of people that can help you take your vision and run with it and keep it going.
I think you've
So
got to
that's
say that one more time because there's so many people that feel like I can do all this by myself, and
there's
that's not
you
true.
always need a team. Even when I was coming up, I had a team. You know what I'm saying? It was always people around. There's never no I and everything. It's always people around. You might not see those people, but there's always people around to help these people
Yeah.
get to where they're at. It's just never them.
So
Never them.
touch on some of the obstacles that you faced in your career that you've had to go through to keep an organization like this relevant, because I think that will help someone that's interested in following in your footsteps too.
Well, I ain't gonna say it's obstacles, but money is always something that you need to help you grow. You know what I'm saying? So I was taking a lot of money that I go to work and investing it into what I'm doing or whatever. So I ain't gonna say it was like any obstacles. I had more obstacles before Fleet came. Once Fleet was here, I really haven't had no obstacles. It was more or less, how much money can I invest in Fleet to take it to
Mm.
the next level? Do I have money for a mixtape cover? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I pay for this website? You know what I'm saying? So it was more or less, the obstacle was having money to be able to fund these things that we do have and stuff to this day and stuff. So it was that was an obstacle, and I think that's for a lot of people. There's always money. What are you going to invest in? Where
Yeah.
should I put it? You know what I'm saying? Like, how should I go about it? Who should I pay? You know?
Now, touch on some of the key people that have been critical for you in your journey that's helped keep this thing going.
Um, shoot, there's a bunch of people. I can name a thousand people, you know what I'm saying? But the people that's always been around, Aaron Fleet DJs, DJ L Boogie, DJ OS, DJ Skinny, DJ Music Rocker, you know what I'm saying? People like that that's always been around. DJ Gitbuck, who to this day, he's the longest tenured member or whatever.
Ooh,
You know, it's he's been around since day one. DJ Starline,
wow.
been around for a long time. So it's the list goes on, because it was, I don't never say and take all the credit of what happens, because it's always people around. I may be the person that started it, but it's always a team of people that help you out on your journey. I could
Wow.
never take credit for everything. I could take credit for starting it, because those people weren't there. But um keeping it going and making it happen, because it was a lot of work that was put in, besides myself and a lot of other people just working and doing what they do to make
Yeah.
the name what it is today.
So for the future, how do you see, where do you see the Fleet DJs 5, 10, 15 years from now?
um Shoot, it's a the vision is so big at this point in time. Like just said, with the Fleet Radio Network, right now we have 95 stations. We have the biggest radio network on the net. So
Wow.
that right there in itself is is a main focus and a vision, where it's gonna be in cars, which you can access it through the Fleet app and the Fleet Radio Network app through your car and stuff like that. But it's the vision for that is Sirius radio status. You know what I'm saying? Because we have every genre of music, just like Sirius Radio. We have different types of music. We have talk, R&B, Latin, EDM, the list goes on. K-pop is coming. Like special tribute radio, which is a station for people that passed away, your mixtape channels and so on. Like the list goes on as far as all the stations we do have and stuff. But Fleet is itself, the vision is to just keep going, keep going, build the name, get the members here, be a family, because that's what we are, do good business, and just be respected in this music business because that's what it's about. Being respected. Breaking records is the number one thing, playing these artists and stuff, because at the end of the day, we need to play records, and that's what we do. Um, that's basically what it is. There's so many visions because there's so many parts to Fleet now. Back then it was just, all right, we just need to take Fleet, these DJs to another level, and how could we make people superstars?
So I think that mentioning the fact that the DJs are the ones that, and we are an entertainment company, but the truth is that the DJs are the ones that's in the club, in the faces of these audiences more than all of us. And our responsibility is to break tracks, whether it's the host bringing it to the DJ, or it's the model that's bringing it to the DJ, whatever the situation may be. But can you talk just a little bit on how important it is for artists to build those relationships with DJs to really expand their music outside of their local area?
Well, people nowadays, they think that these social media platforms, Spotify and iTunes and whatever else, Apple Music and stuff, is the way to go. Yeah, you could put your stuff up there, but my thing is, who's going to know it's there?
Talk about
Like,
it.
it's the list. It's been articles out there for people saying that it's been 5 to 10,000 artists up there, and they ain't getting their music played at all on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
So you're dropping music, that's cool, but nobody knows it's there.
Yeah.
It's easy to put out music these days, but the thing is, who know it's there? So who are the people that's going to make you know it's there? The DJs. You still have to tap in with them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones that play the music. They're in the clubs. They're on the radio. They're on the internet with their internet shows, or they're just promoting. So guess what? You need to tap in with the DJs. DJs ain't never going nowhere. This has always been the people that you get the money, the music to. You know what I'm saying? To play your songs and stuff. So artists, if you're listening, you have to tap in with DJs. But at the end of the day, they the ones help you grow too. You can't just grow by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like the radio station hear a lot of things from DJs and stuff. They get stuff from Spotify as well, or all these other places looking at your your spins and stuff like that. But um, you have to tap in with these people because live in effect, we still there in the flesh.
So there was an article that recently just came out about how much the owner of Spotify made in a year, and I think it was like $345 million that he had made in a year, when the artist makes pennies on the dollar. And I think it puts it into perspective on when you are putting your music out here on those platforms, you do need to utilize them because social media is a critical part of how people live their day-to-day life.
Social media is
But
free.
it's free. It's free promotion, but it has to have a strategy behind it. And your music has to go deeper than just putting it on YouTube, putting it on these streaming platforms. You got to get to a point where you understand that if it's not a registered song, it's not going to matter whether you got it on these platforms or not because you're not going to get paid for it. And if you in venues that are not registered venues, it doesn't matter because you're not going to make any money off of it. The best way that you can start owning your music in a technology space is selling your songs the same way that you used to a CD, whether that's I'm going to sell you Apple Music for 99 cents, or you can join my OnlyFans and be able to access me that way as an artist. But you got to get more creative, or artists and music professionals have to start getting more creative on the way that they make money and not just think I can go to social media and it's going to fix and solve all of my problems.
See, people don't like to leave a house or leave a phone. You know what I'm saying? You still have to tap in with people in public. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you go to a grocery store, you hand them a electronic business card with your song on there, or however you feel you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? CDs right now, nobody has a CD player really because ain't in cars no more, nothing like that. Cause that's most of the time where people are riding. That's when they really listening to music. Or if
Yeah.
you in the house cleaning up, you know what I'm saying, you turn on some music and stuff. But most of the time when people are listening to music, they're in their cars and stuff, or whatever,
Yeah.
or they in the clubs and stuff. But you have to, in person is always the best way to touch people because at the end of the day, that's how it grows. Word of mouth is a powerful thing. Go from one person to the next. Everybody ain't gonna like your stuff, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
you get a couple fans and stuff, and you pass it along. That's how people grow, or whatever. You go out, shake
Yeah.
hands, go to these conferences, the Fleet Conference. You got Nerve do conferences, Core, whoever. You got to get out there and touch hands and meet these people and have fun with them, get these connects because the most important thing in the music business is connects. If you know people, you can go a
Yeah.
long way.
Absolutely.
You can
So
go a long way if you know people.
there's two in that. We're going to talk about this conference, but before we lead into that conference, I do want you to talk about what collaboration means in an industry like the music and entertainment field. How has that been beneficial for you in your career?
Oh shoot, I collab with everybody. You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense. But coming up, I was collabing with everybody. That's how I got to meet all these celebrities and be cool with them because they seen me work and they seen my product. So they see your work and they see your product everywhere. Guess what? They want to work with you.
And you
So
was a part of a street team at one time too. Was that with Island Def Jam or was
yeah,
that with the
I was with Island
okay.
Def. I was. That's how I was going to all the industry parties in New York. I was shaking hands with people that like, damn, that's such and such. Oh, well, that's what's up. Like, or whatever. But it's tapping in with these people was a beautiful thing. That's just
Yeah.
stuff you needed to do. You know, like I
Now,
feel
oh, go ahead, go deeper.
I feel you have to just go in. You have to.
Yeah,
You gotta these celebrities or these and not really celebrities. You know what I'm saying? People that's valuable in the music business. Because the most valuable people is the people that you don't know. You don't know their names like that. You
say
may know, just say
again.
for example, Jay-Z, but Jay-Z is powerful, but that's a wrong and bad example. But just take, a celebrity just for he might be, great at what he do or
Yeah.
whatever, but it's always people behind him that's more powerful. You know what I'm
So
saying?
that's a good point being here in Music City because you've got all these labels, you've got AR people that are here, you've got the performing right organizations, and people always look for the face that
Yeah.
represents some of these industries. And they could literally be sitting right beside of the person that's hitting the button that is controlling the face
That's making
behind
it
this
happen.
industry.
It's
Yeah,
making it happen.
absolutely.
Those are the
So
people that you want to meet.
those are absolutely the people that you want to meet, and they are going to be some of the most discreet people in the room because they know that they're the most sought after too. So
They
once
just
people
chill.
start, go ahead and say that again.
I said they just chilling. They chilling in the back, chilling, having a drink or whatever. Guess what? They can take you to the person that you see all the time, plus a million more.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
So
you know
I think
him is cool, but guess what? Knowing him is probably a little better because he can take you to him and a bunch of other people that you need to know. That's how I
uh,
spread out.
I am the exact same way. Like I want to see the person that's out there, but what I've learned about the industry is that that's the representative. The person that's really calling the shots and making the money is the people that is behind that person that's on that stage. Um,
Hmm.
I'm an advocate for the artist, just like I'm an advocate for the DJ. But a lot of people don't understand that the artist is going to be closer to the least paid person in this
Yeah,
whole entire thing. Like they get fame, they get notoriety, and they get large sums of money that they typically have stipulations on having to pay back,
yeah,
but they don't get the money like the A&R reps do, the label owners do, the ones that's calling the promotions and even ticketing and all that type of stuff. Those arenas are still open for people to maximize on instead of just being an artist or a producer or someone that's immediately in the spotlight.
Yeah, it's always other people that's in the background that make things happen. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yeah.
like take for example myself. I had to start making myself like come out there because I was one of them people. I don't care. I was like, just no fleet. You ain't got to know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like I put people out there, and I don't even say nothing about me. You know, because I'm one of
Yeah.
them people. I just like the chance to stay in the back. I had to start making myself take pictures so people can know what I look like. I had to start just coming out and doing conferences, other conferences besides Fleet, and different things like that or whatever, just so people could start knowing who I was and stuff. But you gotta come out
It
in
makes
person.
it more human centric. So when people are seeing you on these social media platforms, they understand the person that's behind the artistry and not
Hmm.
just what you see on social media. So I agree. Like it took a long time for me. I tell people all the time, even though I do interviews and I have these hosting platforms, I am an introvert at heart. I am not the biggest social person. I am home most of the time. But when it's time for me to be out in certain spaces, I know how to go in those rooms,
Hmm.
maximize those opportunities, and connect with people. So when they see me on social media, they understand the business side of what I offer as well.
Hmm.
But talk about the conference because this was my first year being able to experience it for myself. Shame on me. But it is one of the most amazing opportunities for someone that is a music professional or wanting to get into this industry. So, talk a little bit about how it got started and developed into what it is today.
Well, the first conference we ever did, we did it in Atlanta,
Okay.
and we had a, I was surprisingly, we had a bunch of people come out because I didn't. It was surprising. That was like our first big event because at the time we weren't even doing events. We were just putting mixtapes and doing radio stuff. We wasn't doing no events, and I was
Okay.
surprised to see all the people that came out to that one. You know what I'm saying?
Got
Because they say when you do a conference, your first three, you're gonna take a loss. We haven't
really?
taken a loss yet or
Oh.
whatever. Surprisingly, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, the first one, it was we was like, all right, let's make this happen. It was very simple,
Okay.
and we did it. Like I said, we did it in Atlanta. I think one of the spots we used a bunch of times was the Crow's Nest. It wasn't as long as what we do now. We do 4 days. I think was it two? I can't even remember if it was 2 or 3. But at that conference, we had the Migos there, but at the time they weren't big. They performed
Okay.
with them or whatever. We had Bigger Rankin, he came out.
Okay.
Who else did come out? Tony Neal, he came out from the core. He came out. Melly Mel, he was out. Grandmaster D came out, rocked out. Who else was there? Tone Trump from Philly came out. It was a bunch of people that just came out surprisingly or whatever. Because we was just a crew. We was a DJ crew. But it was our first event. We ain't never did no events before. We made it happen and stuff. But at the time, as it started building to now where we at our going on our 14th year, we just expanded it to the point where it's a 4 day event now, and you get everything. You get your panels, you get your parties, you get all type of listening events, you get your performances, you get special events and stuff. Just a whole networking thing for 4 freaking days, and we bring out people for you to meet, people you can network with, and of course the DJs and the fleet DJs and other DJ crews be there as well and stuff. So it's just a beautiful thing or whatever. We just took an event that we believed in and made it our own and did it in a different way. Every coalition has do conferences, but and they do it in the way that they feel is best. And we did it our way because we consisted of so many different parts, and we try to put every part that we have into the conference. This year's conference a little different. Um, we did it in Orlando, Florida. Never did that city before. It was actually the first time. Um, Crazy that we had like that whole plane thing come out and like shut a lot of things down, and a lot of our panelists couldn't come, and a lot of people that was planning on coming couldn't come because of the plane shut down. But we
Mhm.
still had a lot of nice, decent turnout or whatever, and we did good. Booked about 80 rooms, which we was gonna book a whole lot more than that or whatever. So, but 80 rooms is a lot of rooms or
It is.
whatever. So, it still turned out to be a nice, decent conference. I'm proud of it. Next year is gonna be even better. Oh, what do you? We
Where is
got
it
a
at next year?
huh? Oh,
Where is
I
it
can't
at?
say
Okay.
that. I can give you the dates. July 17th through the 20. I think it's the 20. July 17th through the 21st, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so y'all better mark your calendars. Keep following us so that way once it drops, you know where we're gonna be at this year.
I'm planning on
But
announcing the location maybe in 2 weeks.
I'm excited. Like again, it was my first time going this year,
I
and
think everybody gonna like this city though. I think everybody
I'm,
gonna
I'm excited. The amount of people that I met was absolutely insane. I mean, you walked in and we literally took over this hotel.
the hotel.
So
Yeah.
it was nothing but music related stuff. So if you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to hear music, you had it at your fingertips. If you wanted to network with artists, they were there.
Mm-hmm.
You had merch, the vendors
Mm-hmm.
were out. The panels itself, like the people that you had set up to talk about marketing, to talk about business, talk about apps, talk about being a music professional. Like, even if you didn't come and do anything but attend the panels, you were able to take something away from that conference to make you better in this industry for sure. So if
And
you're
and the
not
thing,
doing that, you got to.
and the thing about those panels is when we put these panels together, a lot of these people I know personally or whatever, of course, but
Mhm.
we look for people that want to help people. Just take for example Benny Poon. Everybody, Benny Poon been in the music industry 20, 30 years. He
Yeah.
ran Rock Nation. You know what I'm saying? Like came out network and he came just for that event and then he stayed for a little while and then he left or
Yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? People, if they took advantage of the opportunity, he was there to network or whatever. Um, Jenny from Chicago or whatever. I think she
Hmm.
live in Las Vegas now. Came out, hung out with us all like 3 days. Very influential in the music business with a lot of knowledge. She helped start the label with G Herbro and still do this day. So she knows a lot.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like the list goes on from the people that was there that want to help people and stuff like. But we look for those people that want to help, not those bougie people or whatever. That's all right. I'm gonna do the pound, then you ain't gonna see them no more. You know, like these
Hmm.
people hung out with you. You saw these people. So if you saw them at the panel and you didn't get a chance to talk to them because there was so many people trying to talk to them, guess what? You'll see them later and you can talk to them. You know, that's how it was.
Or even on top of that, like if you stay business oriented and you reach out to these people on a sidebar or for a
Mm-hmm.
DM, or if you do get their booking information and you let them know that you're a part of Fleet, they give you a different level of respect
Mm-hmm.
than what they would if you were just somebody on the street reaching out trying to ask for help, a
Mm-hmm.
favor, or whatever the circumstances may be. So being a part of
Mm-hmm.
this organization and affiliated with you opens way more doors than what people can really truly understand, besides just being a group of people who love music.
Yeah. So Fleet is that's why I love it because of course the name is what it is today. Some people say we the number one DJ crew. Some people say we number two. I really don't get into all that. We just do what we do or whatever. But we're very powerful in the music business at this point in time. People, take heed to us and we just do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't nothing that other people can't do, but we've been doing it for so long that people try to follow what we do and stuff. But you
I
can't
want to go here. I want to go here because I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. And you've already answered this just a little bit. But between the one and the two spot, there is another DJ coalition out here that makes a lot of noise and has a lot of visibility as well. What is your relationship with that organization, or at least the owner of it? Is it collaborative, or is it kind of like you here, we there?
Well, I don't have a problem with none of them.
Yeah,
Coalition Big X, he came to the conference 2 years.
yeah,
He came last year and the year before that. So that tell you the relationship we have right there.
yeah.
Um, I was supposed to speak on a panel last year, but I couldn't make it. But OS did, or whatever.
Okay.
So our relationship is strong. Core, I don't have a problem with none of them. You know what I'm saying? Like we cool. They just doing what they doing. We just do what we do, or whatever. We got on the phone one time and we was going to do like some collab situation. It just never happened. Nerve DJs was on that call as well. It just never happened. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think, I don't have a problem with anybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just do what we do. We're not out here trying to diss nobody because at the end of the day, they made their name. They out here doing what they do, and that's just what it is, or whatever. Some people will love you in certain places and some people won't. The same with us. So um, I would just say, if for artists, do your research on who you like or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tell you. Like, I'm not gonna hate on nobody and be like, don't go to them or whatever. Nah, I
Yeah.
don't have a problem with nobody, and I don't think they have a problem with us because at the end of the day, we wouldn't have been on that call to try to put something together and stuff. So, and Big X, like I said, wouldn't have never came to the conference 2 years in a row and sat on our panels and stuff. So it's not an issue. If they call and they needed something, we got them. It ain't that type of situation.
I love that because it's
There's no
not
big.
enough people that are in the same areas that say it's okay for us to do the same things and be respectful for one another for loving this craft. A lot of people would try to turn it into something that it doesn't have to be, or a pick and choose, when we're all here advocating for the same thing. We
It,
all love the same thing, and we're trying to accomplish the same goal. So it's easier for us to be cordial when the opportunities present itself, work together. When the situations arise, because it's the music and entertainment industry, drama, issues, all those things will arise, but being mature enough to say, hey man, it's good energy here with us. The same way we sending good energy over to y'all, and we hope it's being returned in the flip side of it. So great for us to be able to put that out there in the energy and the atmosphere so people understand, like, we're open, we're here to work. There's no bad blood, no bad energy, no way that you turn at it or look at it. We here to just do music, man, in every
but you know, mo-
capacity that's available.
most of the time, it ain't never the problem with. It's always the problem come from the members. The head people never have a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never, you're never, your head people never have problems. Not knowing that from time to time, you may be on the line with the heads. People don't know that. You know what I'm saying?
So true.
But it's always other people that will screw it on and start stuff or say certain things or whatever. You'll never hear me come out my mouth and talk junk about nobody because I'm not that type of person. I don't care if you're in a coalition or whatever. I'm not that type of person. I'm not really a social media guy. I don't even talk on social media.
This is so
So
true.
yeah, all I do is post my stuff and I'll be out. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even post anything. So you'll never get a statement or anything from me. You'll never see me post my family, anything like that, because I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I just post my business stuff and I keeps it moving or whatever. But me personally, I'm not that type of person to just be out here. Hey, I hate that person. No, I don't do none of that. I'm from North New Jersey. I don't care about stuff like that. Like we don't get down like that. I don't care about stuff like that. That's just not me.
So for the person that is wanting to break into this industry, whether it's from a producer standpoint, a DJ standpoint, an artist, music professional, whatever it is, like, give what's a nugget of advice that you would leave for someone that's following in your footsteps that would help them in this path a little bit more?
Negative. Um, of course, don't talk shit about nobody. You know what I'm saying? But negative, I would say like
Or negative advice, like something good. It don't have to be a negative situation, but something that you would leave them with.
just be good to people. You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah.
you be good to people, people are gonna be good to you. If you can help somebody out, help them. Because sometimes it ain't all about what they can do for you. You know what I'm saying? You may help somebody out, and 10 years later, guess what? They may blow up to the point where they think or they know that this person helped me out. So it ain't all about money all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just be good to people. That's what I would tell you. Be good to people. And for artists, approach a DJ. You know what I'm saying? Get with the DJ. Go meet him. If you need to go buy him a drink in the club or whatever, go buy him a drink. Because guess what? You probably gonna go buy some weed and all this other stuff. So you could go take care of the DJ and stuff. He gonna play your record. Guess what? If he play your record and they love it, guess what? He gonna play that record next week. He gonna keep playing it. He gonna keep playing it. So you just gotta respect who you're around, and sometimes you just gotta take care of people. That's just what it is, and it ain't all about giving somebody some money. There's always different ways to take care of people and help people out or whatever. Just be good. When you negative, eventually that stuff comes back on you. Might not come back today, but eventually it will. Just
And
be
this
good to
industry
people.
is not as big as people think that it is, man. So if you
It's
say
brothers
one
speaking.
bad one bad word to somebody, it's gonna get out to
You
somebody
need to
else
see this. You
eventually.
need to hear the stuff that comes back to me. People don't think it wouldn't come back, and it came back to me as soon as they did it. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't. It's very small, like and it gets back to you real fast. So it ain't. Just be good to people. That's all you got to do. You'll never hear nobody out there say I was a bad person or I did something to them. Guess what? If a situation went wrong, I tried to fix it in a way that I could make it work or
There
whatever.
you
Because
go.
you always want to fix things and not just be, all right, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, be good to people. That's just life.
It mic drop.
It's life.
Klassik, CEO of the Fleet DJs. I personally want to give you your flowers because, again, I have been a part of this organization for a very long time and I have grown so much in my craft as a lover of the music and a advocate for the DJs. So I want to thank you for creating spaces where artists can come in and get critiques on their music. DJs have the opportunity to come in, grow, learn about the craft, and expand their networks in the process, and even giving people like the models and the hosts, the writers, the TV people, the content creators, the K-pops, the EDMs, the house music, like you truly have a heart for the people and you are building spaces for creatives to come in and not just expand the name of the Fleet DJs, but really grow in their craft and expand their personal brands as well. And that's hard to find. So thank you for being someone that's willing to answer the call, answer the questions, stay out of the drama, always putting good energy out there in the atmosphere, and most importantly, connecting the dots for people. You, my friend, have again is it was one of these people where I'm like, I have no idea how this man knows all these people, but you are never hesitant about saying, let me introduce you to this person, or let me bring this person in a room, or give us the opportunity to have that connection with people that we wouldn't in no other capacity have the chance to get next to. So thank you, Klassik, for all that you do for us, the industry, and just the people that are connected to you in general.
No, no, thank you. But it's not about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I
Yeah.
look at it like this: if you can grow, then I mean I did my job. You know what I'm saying? Like I helped the person out. It's not about me because I could do what I could do and just be like fuck everybody. You know what I'm saying? But
So
it's not
true.
about that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna work. So
Yeah.
I'm still gonna do it out. But if I can help people along their journey, because they may need somebody to put them or introduce them to somebody so they can carry on their journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's what it's about. It ain't about me. You know, like I did a lot of work and I put in a lot of work to actually be right where I'm at now. But my journey ain't over. I still got a lot of work to do. I feel like I haven't done anything. You know what I'm saying? Because I still have so much on my mind that I want to achieve. But my
Yeah.
thing is, if I can help somebody out, why not? And it's not gonna stop me from doing anything. Like people think that, all right, I hook them up and give them a connect. I didn't mess myself up. No, guess what? I hooked them up with it. So guess what? That means my relationship with them are super strong.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I remember when I first met Tisha Campbell or whatever. And this could have been 10 years. I've known her for a minute now, or whatever. When I went and I got introduced to her from Dwayne the Rock. He introduced me to her because at the
Really?
time she was trying to put out her music and get it to people and stuff. Now, her being Tisha Campbell, you thought she could just get to everybody, but she's an actor. She's not, she don't know the people,
Yeah.
like she don't know the big people in the industry and stuff, but there's always the smaller people that spread it out to everybody. So I,
Yep.
I got introduced to her, and to this day, we call and text all the time. You know what I'm saying? To the point where she like my sister now or whatever.
Love that.
And if I need help with anything, she'll help me. And of course, she always come to me when she dropping music and stuff like that first. She always come to the fleet first. She has been to 2 conferences. She has been to a lot of different things and stuff. And that's the list goes on with celebrities that I know. I take my relationship away from music. Most people ask people. I never ask people for nothing. Because when you start asking people
Mhm.
stuff, guess what? Now they looking at you a different light. I have never asked these people for anything. Because guess what? I'd let them keep asking me. Because
Yeah.
now I know I got you in my bag. So, I just let them years go on. Then I'll be like, yo, man, what's up? You think you could do this for me? Guess what you think they're gonna say? Of course,
Yeah.
or whatever. But it's certain people, it's all about because they human too. So
Yeah.
when they bleed the same way you do, you just be genuine. That's
And
all it's about.
cultivate the relationship. It's a two-way street. It's not
Of course.
a one-way road in these relationships that you build in. Give something to get something in return. So
These people will put
listen,
you in rooms that you might not be able to get in, and they and you cool with them, and you didn't even ask to be put there.
talk about it. Because
Because
absolutely, you are right on the money on that one.
so you know, you just got to be smart with what you do. It ain't all about asking people for stuff all the
Yeah.
time. It is
Well,
what it
thank
is.
you for an amazing 14th episode of the Fleet Nation podcast, where we bring on the industry tastemakers and celebrities to talk about it. And on this episode, you guys have had the honor of having none other than the creator of this amazing organization. You know that you can follow me on Instagram at It's Just Miss Wells, and you gotta follow the Fleet Nation podcast on Instagram as well. But before we wrap up Klassik, tell these people one more time where they can follow you at on social media or become a member of this organization as well.
Everything is at Fleet DJs, FLEET DJS. You got thefleetdjs.com, you got thefleetmag.com, you got streetofficial.com, you got breakingtracks.com. The list goes on as far as websites. Fleetradionetwork.com, you got the Fleet app downloaded on your Apple and Android phones. You got Fleet Radio Network, the same app downloaded on Android and iPhones and stuff. Like we have so much stuff here, is ridiculous. But keep following us, keep doing what we do. Everything is at Fleet DJs, and that's what it is.
Until the next episode, you guys, we are out of here.
Peace.